Hey everybody, this has been weighing fairly heavy on my heart, and I wanted to share this with you all. I know there's a lot of uprising and chaos in the midst of what has occurred due to the murder of George Floyd, and I've needed to take a step back just to be in observation mode and really understand how both sides feel. And I have this song on my heart. It's by the fabulous Alicia Keys. And I just think it's so pertinent to what we're witnessing, what we've been witnessing over the last few months, just with these crimes. It's called Holy War, and I just want to sing a little bit of it. There's a particular verse that really speaks to me, and I just think that's where we need to come from. I'm just going to speak from the heart, and I know some of you may agree, some of you may not, but that's okay. That's the rights that we have. That's the rights that we have. Those are our civil rights to be able to protest and to rise up when we feel that there's injustice taking place. And so all I ask is for you to just listen with an open mind, open heart. I'm not trying to condone anything. I'm just speaking from my place of truth, just to let you know how I feel with everything that's going on. So with Alicia's song, I'm just gonna go for it. She speaks about how things just seem to be twisted in the world, and we need to come to a place of understanding, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, here goes. I might take a little bit of creative liberties and change a little bit of the words, but like a word or two. If war is holy and love is obscene, we've got it twisted in this lucid dream, baptized in boundaries, schooled in sin, divided by difference, sexuality and skin. Oh, so we can hate each other, fear each other. We can build these walls between each other, baby, blow by blow, brick by brick. Keep yourself locked in. Yeah, we can hate each other and fear each other. We can build these walls between each other, baby, blow by blow, brick by brick. Keep yourself locked in, yourself locked. Oh, maybe we should love somebody. Oh, maybe we could care a little more. So maybe we should love somebody. Instead of polishing bombs of holy war. Oh, if love was holy and war was obscene and it wasn't twisted, what a wonderful dream. Living for love, unafraid of the end. Forgiveness is the only real revenge. That line, y'all, I be feeling that line. And that line I resonate with, and that's truth. Forgiveness is the only real revenge, so we can heal each other and feel each other. We can break these walls between each other, baby, blow by blow and brick by brick. Keep yourself open, so we can heal each other, feel each other, can break these walls between each other, baby, blow by blow and brick by brick. Keep yourself open, so maybe we should love somebody. Oh, maybe we could care a little more. So maybe we should love somebody. Oh, instead of polishing the bombs of holy war. What if love is holy and hate was obscene? We should give life to this beautiful dream. 'Cause peace and love, it ain't so far if we nurse our wounds before they scar. If we nurse our wounds before they scar. I resonate with that so much, and I feel like it's so pertinent, especially with that line about forgiveness being the only real and true revenge. I just feel that that needs to be focused on, especially with everything that's going on, because not only do I feel there's so much clarity and wisdom in Miss Alicia's song, but also, just to quote Martin Luther King, the man himself, he was so ahead of that time, and just his beliefs in forgiveness and judging someone by their character. He had such amazing quotes, and I would just like to quote some that really resonate with me, and that I hope will resonate with you. He believed that darkness could not drive out darkness, only love could do that. Just as hatred could not drive out hatred, only love could do that. And just going back to the idea of darkness, darkness and hatred, he wanted to come from a place of love, because he never wanted such deep hatred to fill his soul, his spirit, because that would become such an immense burden for him to bear. Because he was such a firm believer that hatred paralyzed life. It confused and caused mass confusion within life, and it only darkened life, whereas coming from a place of love, that would help release that paralysis. It would provide harmony to that disharmony, that confusion that darkness brings and hatred brings, and it would provide illumination where there was so much darkness and hate during those times, and it's so prevalent even now with everything that's going on. And what I really admired about Mr. King is he never wanted such an emotion like that to cause him to come from such a low place that would allow him to hate anyone, even when people were hating on him, even when people were saying these horrible things and doing these horrible things to him, to the people around him that he loved, he still stood firm in coming from a place of love and coming from a place of nonviolence. And as I mentioned before, yes, stand up for what's right. There's injustices that are occurring in our world. Stand up for that. Protest. But I come from his school of thought where I don't feel violence has to be the answer. And just as MLK also believed, and as he once stated, it's coming from a place of nonviolence is such a powerful and just tool. And it's able to cut without wounding, and it enables us to wield such a powerful tool. And it's a sword that comes from a place of healing, not from a place of wanting to continue to cut down our fellow brothers and sisters and to try to dig into each other from a place of hate. Where we want to dig into is where all of that light and that love is buried, because there might be so much hurt and guilt and shame and hatred and darkness there. We want to dig into that. We don't want to dig into it with a sword. We're not trying to pierce to bleed. We want to use, for lack of a better visual aid, a shovel to shovel that dirt that is shielding that light and that love. And I've just always had such a respect for that man because he's always come from that place. So I just invite you, I implore you to maybe just for a second, if at all possible, to just step back from this for a second and ask yourself, yes, I want this injustice to be justified. I want there to be justice, but at the same time, can I still show love for said persons that have committed these heinous crimes? Because I've tried to come from a place where when you can develop and maintain this capacity for forgiveness, it allows you to open up this part of yourself where you're able to recognize that when a person commits this act of evil, this heinous act, this thing that creates so much hurt within the community, within the world, I also am a firm believer that act in itself never truly quite expresses all that person is. And I know many of you may disagree, and that's fair. I just hope that we can have a civil, an open-hearted, open-minded conversation about everything that is currently happening in the world and in our justice system, especially here in America. You know, there's a lot of brokenness. There is a lot of healing that needs to occur. And I see that and I understand that. But what I'm asking is, these people that commit these acts, I just implore you to ask yourself, how did said persons possibly come up in the world? How were they raised? Were they raised in an environment, in a family where they were shown love, where they were shown compassion and forgiveness and understanding, and how were they raised? What was their capacity for love? Because I believe that at the core of who we are as individuals and even as a collective consciousness, it's all about our environment and how were we raised? How were we shown love? How were we shown how to react and act when conflicts arose in our life? Were we demonstrated to act in a way of violence, in a way of peace, in a way of love, in a way of hate? And what if said persons never received that? What if these people that have committed these crimes never truly had the chance to know and understand and feel what true compassion was and is, and what love was and what it is, and what it means to forgive, and what it means to come from a different ethnic background, have a different nationality, to come from a different cultural standpoint, to just come from a completely different world. What if that person never was educated in understanding and having compassion and the love for said differences? And if that's the case, if you don't know what you don't know, how do you know what to fix? How do you know what to work on when you're not made aware? And I just ask you to just think about that for a moment, to really ask yourself that, like those questions. Really dig deep and ask yourself those questions. And in doing so, I just ask that you not try to move forward seeking for the defeat in this person, for humiliation, or for these horrendous acts to also be placed on said persons, because again, I just don't feel that justice is served by creating more hatred, by creating more violence, by creating more darkness. I don't see how that is the solution for justice. And I know, as hard as this concept might be to embrace and encompass, but trying to come from a place of understanding and compassion and wanting to befriend these ideas of, well, how was this person raised? Maybe they didn't come from a place where they grew up learning these concepts, where it was something that just wasn't spoken of. It wasn't something that was demonstrated by family members and friends. And then not only that, once you're finally out in the world on your own, you're still embracing those concepts, but now there's outside pressures within your occupation, within your friends, and if you don't act a certain way, you don't believe a certain way, you don't think in certain ways, then you're looked as less than, or you're judged. And at the end of the day, yes, we're all human, we all make mistakes. And I understand that with this current situation that we're dealing with everything that has occurred with these crimes, which are considered to be hate crimes against our community, I just ask that you try to come from a place of love and understanding and compassion and forgiveness. And that's, I've just had that on my heart. I just felt the need to share that. And again, I'm not asking that you agree with anything that I've said. I'm not trying to start any kind of political debate of any kind. I'm just sharing my feelings. And I'm just asking for open-mindedness, open-heartedness as to what is going on in our country. Because it's absolutely devastating. And it hurts. It hurts my soul just to see what has happened, how our fellow brothers and sisters are being treated. But in addition to how we're being treated, I think it's just as important to take note and shed light on how we react and act to that treatment. I think it's just as important, if not more so. I just ask that you try to shed the light, be the light, be that light, shed that light And so that's just what I wanted to share with you all. If you've made it this far, thank you. Feel free to comment, and I'd love to speak with you more about this as well. I'm just trying to share my thoughts and feelings on this. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful week. I hope that with everything that's going on in the world, including us continuing to just figure out what a new normal is going to be with COVID, I just send prayers and positive vibes out to everybody, and I just send out my love to you all, and I just want you all to know that I do immensely care about all of you, and just please continue to stay safe, and just remember that we've all been sheltered for a couple months now, and we're all just trying to figure out our way. We're all just trying to figure out how to go about living a normal life again. So much love to you guys. Please continue to stay safe. And I'll be chatting with you all soon. Take care.